Hey guys, this is Jacob from J Custom Fab. Today, well, I've already started putting some different control arms on the vehicle. Putting these Ride Tech. It's a full suspension for this vehicle. It comes with a 4-link in the rear, and then the new control arms, along with sway bar. And then I bought the coilover kit, so I'm going to put coilovers. But I like the idea that I could come back and put airbags on it, depending on if my mind changes, because my mind definitely changes. This vehicle's been a project of mine for, gosh, I'd say over 10 years. This is the project I don't seem to get done, because this is the one that I want to be perfect. This is the one that means a lot to me. I'm not getting rid of this car. This used to be my grandpa's car. It's a super sentimental car to me. And I think it's going to be super cool. You're going to see me work on this in the future. I've got about 3 cars that I'm going to crank out and get done, and then I'm going to get back to this, because I have pretty much every part to build this. Most of the body work's almost done on it, on the main part of the car, besides putting in this firewall. And I think I'm going to have to cut the floors. I've changed my mind multiple times on this vehicle, so I set it up originally for an automatic, and now I'm putting a 6-speed with a 502 big block in it with fuel injection. So everything keeps changing. It's evolved in the last 10 years from what my original plan was, and I really haven't touched this car in probably over 5 years. So it's coming due. I've got to get it done. That is my goal, is to get this car done. So I bought some pretty good components. These Ride Tech arms are going to give me a little better geometry. What I did have some aftermarket arms here, and the benefit I'm gaining with these Ride Tech versus these is I'm bringing the tire in about 1.5 inches, and these were putting the tire out further. I'm also gaining a little better steering geometry for handling and ride, and I think the Ride Tech's just a lot better product. I bought these years ago. A company, and I can't remember what company it was, started building these, and I think I bought the first couple sets he built, and they were pretty cool for the time. They haven't been used, and I don't really know how well they do, but they are well built. So I'm not saying they're bad control arms, but I'm just saying I'm going with this suspension system for the coilovers and everything else. So more versatile. But hit subscribe. You can watch this later in the future. Evolve as I start working on it. I think it's going to be the next year it'll get worked on. But I'm going to pull this out because I've sold these. Guy wants them, so we're going to put this Ride Tech under the front, and later you'll see me put the 4-link in the rear. So cool. Stick the spring compressor down the shock hole here. This is the only way I can figure out really how to do that with these control arms. That is the downside about these control arms, is they're horrible to make work. this is the wrong way to use this spring compressor. I just don't have room. Well, I'm using two different compressors actually. I've got both here, and yeah, I just want to make sure I have the ball joint unloaded when I undo the screw, or when I undo the bolt. So you definitely don't want this thing popping out at you. Slowly lower it down. And then I'm going to slowly lower down the spring, because I just don't want this thing just to whooshing. Now, I'm not sure what this spring is going to do, so we'll just kind of see. And you definitely don't want to get your fingers in there. Still kind of spring loaded. So what I did with the other spring is, I don't know if it's the best thing, but I pretty much just stuck this in here, just because I don't want my fingers in the way. I just ratchet strap. See how that just flipped out? I remember these springs were a pain to get into the vehicle. So and the biggest reason why I went with those springs is there's going to be a big block sitting in here, and I'm like, I need a lot of spring for this, even though these spindles would drop 2 inches. I figure that big block would drop this car a little bit too, but I'm glad I'm changing this. It's going to be a lot better to ride. I was going to put coilovers in it too, and I do have those that I'm selling with it. So I'm gonna get these pulled off, get them set aside, and then I'll start putting the front end on. And I'll show you the difference in them. So you can kind of see there. And we'll just set this one kind of on top where those are gonna, well, it's really hard to see, but you can see the difference in length there. There's a good inch. I think there's an inch and a half though. But that is the difference between the two. Then I'll show you the difference on the bottoms. So. So now you can tell the difference, but there's a P for passenger side. They make it so simple to install this, it's not even funny, but super cool. We're going to continue moving along. Guys, well, I got this all just kind of mocked up. If nothing's tight right now, I still got to put the coilovers on it, but I'm not going to break the coilovers out right now. This is as far as I wanted to get today, just get it on here. And I do still need to make a custom bump stop for these because this bar is hitting the frame right here. You can kind of see here. Let me show you. So that bar there, when this spring compresses, it's going to hit the frame right there all the way. And the bump stop down here isn't quite enough. So I have this polyurethane bump stop. I'm going to put a spacer on it and space it up so it just barely kisses the bump stop before it hits the frame. So that way you don't get any clanging and banging. So I'm just going to check the track width from hub to hub and see what that is. My previous measurement with those other control arms was 61 1/4 inches, I think. So I really should do this with two people, but I'm just gonna set that right there. Right here we are at 59 inches exactly. So I did measure this multiple times. I'm really happy with this. This is going to tuck the wheels in just a little bit more. This kind of optimizes what originally was. I think it actually gains a little bit, but this should be sweet. And hit subscribe to my videos and see more of what I'm doing with this later down the road. I've got other projects I'm doing ahead of this, but like I said, I sold the control arms and I needed to put these ones on. I've had these ones sitting here for like 2 years. I just haven't got around to doing it. So I got a lot of parts for this. This thing's ready to rock and roll once I'm ready. So awesome, guys. Thanks.